Hi, I'm going to go ahead and create a video on lesson 10, our Acme database continued. I'm going to share our screen here and go to my Acme database, which now should have our two tables in it. We're going to alter our one for our employees. Yours has 5 employees in it. Mine only has me in it because I never went back in and added the 5. But that shouldn't hurt us too much. We're going to go to design view. And then down here, we scroll down a little bit. And we can add it anywhere. I'm actually going to, you can put it down here. And it's going to be ET job. Or you can right click and say insert a row and put it somewhere up here. Or if you put it in the wrong place, you can delete a row. Okay. So we'll just put it at the end down here and I'll say ET job. And it's short text. And I'm going to make it, let's see what our instructions say. I think it's A for admin. It is right here. I'm going to just copy that and bring it over here. Paste it right in here. So again, that's all the people we have working. I only need one character. Of course, it's going to be in capital letters, so I'm going to put a more than sign in. Caption will be job. Default value, I can put something in, I'm not going to. But here, under validation rule, the only 4 things I can have is A, or C, or W, or S. When I click off of it, it fixes it to the way it's supposed to look with the double quotes around the letters. And then we're going to say Acme tabs only include, and paste that A for admin, again, like that. So now when somebody tries to go and put something in there, they have to put in either an A, a C, a W, or an S. Okay? It's the only thing you can put in there. And then we'll go to data sheet view. Save, yes. Yes, don't matter. And way down here on the end now, you should see job. Okay. And then, I'm going to fix that a little bit too. Let's go back in there for a second. And let's change, I think I can change this after the fact, to lookup wizard. And I'll type them in, okay? Instead of getting them like we did before to a table. It says, what do you want here? Okay, so I want A. I'm going to do so A, admin, C, clerical, W, warehouse, and S for salesperson. And we can close this column up a little bit like that. Hit next. We want to use the number 1. That's what will show not how to do, so that's right. And do you want to limit entries to the choices? And we'll say yes, we'll limit it to lists. Do we want multiple values? No, not at this time. Okay. So now if we go back at our datasheet view, when you click on it, you should see a list of what you can put in there. And you have 5. I want to make at least 2 of them salespeople, okay? Once again, you want to make at least 2 of them salespeople. And then in your customer one, when it says who your salesperson is, make sure that you only use 2 of them, the 2 that are your salespeople from the employee table. Don't use like your warehouse guy to be a salesperson. All right. Once you have that done, let's go ahead. And I'm just going to leave my employee table open. Okay, so my employee table is open. And then what I can do is come up here and hit create. And I believe I can just hit form. And I can. And if you look right now, here's my employee table. Okay. And here's my sub form down here. So it has both of them together. And again, I only have 1 record in each. Okay. If I had more, so this is for the employee, this one down here, record 1 of 1. And this is my customer table here. So I think I'll add another person in here. Let's see. I'm going to say cat 200 and Caterpillar. Instead of going to all back to my table, I can put stuff in here. And that's what forms are for. If I want to add something, I don't have to have the person do it in the table. I can have my secretary or whoever enter it here because they don't need to know much. I'm just going to say Bob Smith, and he's at 123 Cat Lane or something. And he's in the engineering department, maybe. And that's in, let's see, Mossville. No, I don't know their zip code, 616. 6, I don't know, 20. And then phone number for him is 309-999-2323. Okay. So now you can see that I have, whoops, I opened another one here. So if I want to get rid of that now, I probably have to go back to my, so let's see. I'm trying to close this. Do you want to save changes? Yes, I do. Employee with customer. That shows up there. Now, if I go back to customer, look at here. There's the one I just added. Okay. And if I go back here now, that other one that I started is gone. So now I've got 2 in here. So you're going to have 2 of your employees will have a couple, 2 to 3 in here, or 4 and 1, or whatever. Your other employees, your warehouse man, your clerk, and that won't have anything in the customer, right? Because they're not salespeople. So that's one of the, that's that form here with the subform. And you can go in the form here. I'm going to show you something because later on you'll need it in reports. But see how big these are in that? We can go over here in our view, and the view has changed. We can change it to design view. And you can reshape these boxes in that. Okay. Now, what you got to do first, though, I think, is select them all. And then if you go to design, where is that thing at? Range There we go. Remove layout under arrange. Right here, when you click on there, it collects all this. They're all selected. And you just remove that layout, okay? And then click off of it somewhere. Now you can select individual ones and like make them smaller. Like number of dependents, I don't need that big. I mean, how many kids can somebody have? Same thing here. I can make this date of birth smaller. Social security number could be, oops, I don't want to make the form smaller. Social security number probably will leave like that. Phone number we can leave out here like that. Zip code, I could move it. Make it like that. But see how you have this now, it's ED like this. I can move these out of the way. Look at how big city is down here. I mean, that's huge. And then I can take the title separately. And see these big dots here on the corners? That's so you can move them individually, because if I try and move one of them, they're attached to each other. Now watch, if I move this one moves with it. But if I want to move it closer, I can grab the big one and move it closer like that. So what I could do here really is just move stuff around a little bit. So I could take this ID. I know it's only 5 characters long. I know ID doesn't need that big. Then I can move this over next to it. Then I can move my first name thing up here. And then first name here. And what I could really do is maybe move this up above so that ID is up there. Above it, same thing. I'm take first name, move it up here. And this just takes a little practice. Middle initial, I know I don't need that much room for one letter. I can move that up, make that smaller, move it up on top. And you can do some fine adjusting with your arrow keys. Like right there, I can move that up a little bit. And move this up there. And lined up. And then I've got last name down here. Move him up there. And last name. Like that. Okay, move zip code out of the way here. Somehow these two got unhooked from one another. Right now. Way. You can always group stuff back together by holding down the control key and then selecting them both, and then arrange. You can somewhere. There's where you put them back together or something somewhere. Anyway, so these two things here, I'm just going to move up underneath here. Then the city, I'm going to move up there. Oops. And then state is real small, right? Only 2 letters. So I can take that, move it right here. Get this out of the way. I don't know why this side is not moving together. And state here, again, this is going to be real small. Put that right there. Oops. Undo. You do something bad and undo it. Like, see how big this is? We can move that around. This is just a title. So if I want the title in the middle here, might not have undid this. So. Anyway, you can undo these on, how do I want to say it? Move layout here too. Then I should be able to move this, I believe. There it goes. And then if I wanted to put an icon or a picture up here, I could. I can make this heading up here bigger, like that. I got more stuff to put up there. Anyway, where was that? Okay, so here's my state goes here. Oh, I did it again. That in the wrong spot. Oh, undo. But see, you can always undo stuff, which is kind of cool. Oh, I see what's happening. It's moving relative to my. Okay, so I got to get the big corner there. Move it there. And then I've got my zip code that I had moved over here. Put it right here. And then the zip code itself. Right there. Pull my SSN out of here. So I got street, home phone needs to be pulled out of there. Okay. So I got street 1, street 2, city. State, zip code. What would I want next? Maybe home phone. That here. That's kind of big. Married. Look at how big my checkbox is. Here it takes up all that room. Control that. Here somewhere. Less important stuff. So there's that zip code's up there. You know what? What if I did this? And move the zip code underneath here under this street name. That might be neater. Then I can use this room over here for my phone and everything. Put this over here. Social security number over there. And boogers up there. And how many dependents? There. Married. here in front of dependents. And then, okay, so now I've got photo and job left. So I'm going to move job here. You know what? Let's move it over. I'm going to take all these back. If you do a marquee, hold down your left mouse button and select all these. We'll move them over here. Yeah, maybe they'll just. Okay, so now I've got this thing, a title here called photo. Well, we don't need a title called photo. We know what a picture looks like, so I'm going to delete it. Don't delete this though, because this is the actual where we put the picture. And I'm going to make it portrait size, kind of. And see what happens. Let's take the whole shooting match. We got everything there. Move it over here a little bit. Make the home phone a little smaller. I think I can do that. You have to check and make sure it fits once you do it, though. Okay, so when we run it, we'll be able to see if it shows the whole phone. That's one of the biggest things I see when people do reports is part of their data is obliterated. So now you see I can get the picture up here. I'll put it about, that looks like a portrait, right? I'll right click on it, go to properties. Okay, where's my properties window at? Okay, that's weird. If I select that, it should have out here, you're supposed to get the actual properties for that. Okay. Then hang on. Because I want to stretch that picture. And I don't know why it is not letting me do that. Normally, you should get a box over here. In fact, go back. That's weird. Anyway, if it doesn't work, it doesn't work. Let's go back. Now you can see here, look how it looks. Here's my name going across here, my two addresses, the city, state, zip code, my other information, and my customers, even though I should change my job to a salesperson, right? So as long as it looks something like this, you know, or you can leave it the original, and I guess I don't really care. It just, I'm trying to show you how you're going to have to move stuff later on. This job thing is too big here. Move that over. Married thing, move that over a little bit. Move over. But that aggravates me because there's a property sheet. Let's see what that looks like. Oh, you know what? I think it's out here. Aha, okay. So now you can see it, okay? And again, it was coming up as just behind, I didn't have this over far enough. Okay. And if you look down here somewhere, it'll say, somewhere here. Special effect, no. Yeah, color border style, back size. Picture size mode right there. It says zoom by default. We'll make it stretch. And then, so whatever size this is, that's how big my picture will be. So if you have pictures of all your people that are like portrait, that's why I was looking for, if you remember the other day, I talked about trying to get a portrait of Doug, the dog, in Up. And like in a lot of times, like if you go to look at sporting statistics, they'll have pictures of the players and they're all the same. They're all the same type of portrait like you used to get in school portraits. And so you can get all the pictures that look the same, so you can size them all the same. So there's your form within a form. You have a subform down here and a form up here. So that's how you do that one. So now we're supposed to create a query. And we're going to do query by design, or QBE, query by example is what it's actually. And if we go ahead, let's do this first. Let's close and save them. Okay. Save everything. Oh, the reason my employee, did you see that? If you look at my employee file now, my job is a salesperson. So it did change it when I changed it in the form. All right, so we're going to do query by example or query by design, and we want both of our tables brought up. And if you created your relationship correctly, it should look something like this, okay? We can make these boxes bigger, whatever. So I think, let's see what our first query is supposed to have. The company name, the contact person's name, the contact city, the contact phone, and then the first and last name of our employee. So how do I do that? How do I get that stuff? There's a couple different ways. You can, if you click on this asterisk, you'll get all these fields. We don't want that. All we want is the company name, so we can drag it down and drop it in here. Or we can double click it and get it down here. And then what was the other one we wanted? City and phone, okay? So then we double click city and double click phone. And then the first and last name of the employee, okay? And so you're gonna have two employees that have customers. And then when you click run, boom, there you go. So Doug Peterson's two sales customers are those two. Again, you're gonna have 5 of them with 2 of your salesperson over here. So that's the first query, okay? So now if I go to close it, and it says, do you want to save it? Yes, it'll say, what do you want to name it? And I'll say customer sales persons or customer info or something. I might have gave you a name to make it. Okay, so we got that. So now we have that. And if we change anything, in other words, if I was to add another customer or put my employees in, I'm sorry, then we'd be, these would change automatically the next time you open them. Okay. So again, I can double click that and it brings it back up. Okay, and then the last query is basically the same query as we had before, I believe, but then we're going to specify only one of our salespersons. Okay, let's see. Basically do the same thing, but only have one of your salespeople. Yeah. So we're going to go back in again. and create another query by design, both of our tables. I'm just double clicking instead of hitting the tab. And once again, I want the name, contact, city, and phone. First and last name. But this time I'm going to put in a criteria. Okay. And for my criteria, I'm going to say Peterson. If I click off it, it automatically puts double quotes around it. And now if I run it, it only shows Peterson. Well, let me prove to you that this is true. Let me put in another employee. Okay. You don't need a second street address if you don't have one. I don't know. 847, 1, 4, 999, 999, birthday 11 to 5. He's not married. Has 0 dependents. I should get a photo for him. Again, if you forgot how to do that the other day, we just went to here. I hate that. And images. Again, those ones I want to buy. So this is a good. Let's see what it is. Anyway, pick one. I click here. Let's see what kind of data it is. Let's save it and we'll see. The ping, that should be okay. And I'm going to save it to my desktop if I can find it. And let's see if it'll actually work. Manage, add, desktop, doc. Okay. And let's see if we can bring it back up. Doc. Open. There we go. All right. So we got that. So now, what was I showing you? Oh, okay. So now I had, let's go ahead and change this customer here to down. Oops, why is that not? Oh, I probably have to close it. Hang on, it has to save. Query. Or I'm going to say Peterson's client customers. Okay. So now customers here. I should be able to change this. There he is, Donald Duck. He's now the salesperson. I'm making the salesperson. I didn't give him a job. I'm going to make him the salesperson also. So you'll have 2 of those. So then you'll have the other 3 are not salespeople. Okay, so now if I go to Peterson's customers again, that's good. I might have to do, again, I have to make sure it's saved, I think. There you go. So you'll see that ICC, which I gave to Donald Duck, now is under him. So when I do the specific one for myself under Peterson, he doesn't show up under that. And that's the end. That's everything I believe that you need to do for that. You do have a discussion board. All right. All right. So hope everything's going okay.